All colleges and universities have an honor code. Basically says cheating is bad. Seems obvious, but cheating is exactly what appears many of America's top colleges are doing. A new lawsuit by white and Asian students claims the University of Southern California system are violating state law by secretly reintroducing race-based admission policies. University of California system has seen a gradual increase in enrollment of Black and Latino students despite state and federal bans on affirmative action. And remember, of course, it feels like yesterday when the Supreme Court ruled on affirmative action, the left claimed Jim Crow would return.
The court has effectively ended affirmative action in college admissions. And I strongly disagree with the court's decision.
That's what bothers me about this rolling back. And also what bothers me also is that what's next? Gay marriage?
There is no question that this is a huge step backwards on the path to try to make America more equitable. It's going to have a real impact on real people's lives.
Clearly, the court, in my judgment, stuck a dagger in the back of many of us.
Shan Wu is with us, former federal prosecutor, college student defense lawyer, the perfect man for this, also one of our favorite guests. Good to see you. The Atlantic did a great piece on this. After the fall of affirmative actions, things have not gone the way anyone expected. Yale, Dartmouth, Northwestern, the University of Virginia, Wesleyan, Williams, and Bowdoin all ended up enrolling more Black or Latino students or both. So if you needed affirmative action to have Black and Latino students admitted at a certain rate, and then you took affirmative action away and the number went up, either they were lying about it needing affirmative action or they're cheating.
Well, I think lawsuits are good in this area because it gives you more transparency as to the black box of what's happening there. And I think without that original lawsuit that the court struck down affirmative action on, we wouldn't have learned about these really, what I find, disgusting personality assessments they were doing of Asian American students, saying they were just generally low in personality. But I think you really need to see some details here why the UC system seems to be doing better actually than some of the other folks, because some of the other schools did see rates of admission.
Well, maybe, down. I mean, I guess you could say, it depends on how we decide better,
right.
what is better, what's worse. But maybe it's because the other schools are playing by the rules and doing race-blind admissions. Number of Asian students go up, number of African-American Latino students go down relative to affirmative action numbers, more in line with population numbers, versus the schools that clearly are, there's clearly a reason that the numbers went up, right?
Yeah, and it's hard to figure out that reason because they had been, the California schools have been dealing with that California rule for a while. So they will argue certainly that they are better equipped to have dealt with the federal action against it. But it really remains.
You made a point about the black box, right?
Yeah.
Universities are loath to ever open up the black box. It tells you what's going on. Normally because when you find stuff, it's embarrassing to the university.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that's exactly right. And also, as you open up that kind of black box, you really get an insight into how people are talking, for example, during these meetings, and their sort of intrinsic stereotypes, and sometimes probably some dismissive, insulting things towards the students because, they're seeing a lot of applications. They don't want that sort of secret sauce mix to come out, but without it, it's really hard to know what's actually happening.
So one of the things the Atlantic article pointed out was that the Supreme Court allowed diversity to play a role or people's experiences. So the universities, rather than saying, are you Black, are you white, was writing, please tell us how your race, sex, privilege, and sexuality affected your privilege or lack thereof in an essay question, getting at the same thing. How's that not cheating?
Well, I don't think that's cheating because Justice Roberts, in what I consider to be a very poorly reasoned opinion, left a hole big enough to put an aircraft carrier through it because he says exactly that.
Lawyers love this stuff. Okay, the last lawyer we had on was talking about a Brinks truck. I was waiting, where's he going? Aircraft carrier.
Yeah, I avoided the Brinks truck. But he specifically says, Justice Roberts, that you can do exactly what you just quoted from, which is you can refer to race, so that gives the schools an enormous ability to still use race. And, we can debate whether that's a good or bad thing, but legally speaking, it's just gibberish, that opinion, in terms of what they can or can't do.
Yeah, well, also, it lets students know this is what the universities care about. So, so there you go.
Absolutely.
Hey, we were right when we said you were the perfect guy for this segment.
Thanks.
Good to see you. Thank you very much.